Greetings, my scattered brothers and sisters in the Lord. Trust you know the Lord is with you wherever you find yourself scattered today, and that you know that His presence with you is more than enough for whatever you might face today. Well, we are nearing the end of Mark chapter 1. We have a story about a leper who comes to Jesus. And so I will pick it up at verse 40. A man with leprosy came to Jesus, and begged him on his knees, "If you are willing, you can make me clean." Jesus was indignant. He reached out his hand and touched the man. "I am willing," he said, "be clean." Immediately the leprosy left him and he was cleansed. So this is very interesting as Mark tells the story. There's two ways that it gets translated, two ways that it kind of gets told. One, the leper comes to Jesus and says, "If you are willing, you can make me clean." And Jesus' response is, just as this translation put it, Jesus was indignant. Jesus was angry. And he says, "I am willing, be clean." And immediately the man's leprosy left him and he was cleansed. Other translations put it this way, that Jesus was moved with compassion and Jesus touched the man and he was healed. And so I want to think about it in those kind of two directions today. Jesus was indignant. Jesus was moved with compassion. And when I think about Jesus being indignant, I want to know, okay, what was he indignant about? What was Jesus angry about when this man came to him and said, "If you're willing, you can make me clean"? And I think maybe there are a couple ways to approach this. One, that Jesus was angry at what leprosy was doing to the man. And so it's not so much that Jesus was actually angry or indignant with the man, as much as he was with the condition of the man, with what leprosy was doing to the man. We're not designed, we're not created to have leprosy. And leprosy was a disease that was very social in nature, and so it left you kind of isolated. And you were actually supposed to cry out, "Unclean, unclean," so that everyone would avoid you, no one would come in contact with you, no one would risk being contaminated by your leprosy. And so maybe Jesus saw this condition, and that's what Jesus was angry about, indignant about, that he knew that this wasn't what we were created for. And so he saw the man in his isolation, saw the man in terms of what leprosy was doing to him, how unhealthy. And so Jesus is angry at that. And so Jesus says, "I am willing." And he reaches out and touches the man and says, "Be clean." And he was cleansed immediately. So that's one way to look at it. A second way to think about it is, okay, maybe Jesus was angry at the man. Maybe he was indignant at the man and not just at the condition. If so, what would Jesus be angry about? Maybe Jesus is frustrated that the man said, "If you are willing." Maybe it should be evident that Jesus is willing and desires to heal us and to cleanse us and to make us well. And so maybe there's a little bit of indignation here that the man would question Jesus' willingness. "If you are willing, you can make me clean." The man clearly had faith in the power of Jesus, but maybe he didn't have faith in the willingness of Jesus. And that is what caused Jesus to be indignant. Okay, the other angle, that Jesus had compassion upon the man, that when Jesus saw the man, his heart was stirred, compassion swelled up within him, and we see Jesus reaches out and touches the man. Clearly he is compassionate. And again, we just think about this, that Jesus sees us in our broken state and has compassion upon us. And so I'm not sure which way is the best way to read it, but it does make me think in terms of, okay, do I approach Jesus with confidence in his willingness? Do I recognize that Jesus is, indignant in terms of what sin does to us, what our diseases do to us, what our fallenness does to us? And do I see the compassion of Jesus? Well, and do I imitate the compassion of Jesus? Jesus reached out and touched the man, that no one would touch. And Jesus truly showed compassion in terms of reaching out, touching someone that was supposed to be isolated and that no one else would touch. And Jesus cleansed him. And really, that's the most important point of the whole story, is the authority, the power of Jesus to cleanse, to make us well, and the willingness of Jesus to do just that. That's why he came, to bring healing to us, to our lives. Well, don't know where you might find yourself scattered today, but I just challenge you to kind of ponder on Jesus' response to this man. And of course, the man got it right. He came to Jesus and he put himself at the feet of Jesus. And Jesus, compassionate and powerful, reached out, touched him, made him well. May we know the peace of Jesus today, the wellness of Jesus, the cleansing of Jesus today. And may we also be so touched by Jesus that we begin to imitate Jesus in terms of having compassionate hearts, willing to engage, to help people in their brokenness, in their isolation, however they might find themselves afflicted today. God bless. Have a great day.